I had a lot of ideas, but I kind of narrowed it down to kind of how emotions are a form of exchange, and like in order to become a functioning person in society, you need to give away parts of yourself and gain from other people. So for me, it was about exploring the exchange of yourself rather than of culture or money or something.
To become like a better person, like right now in the present time, we have like to leave something behind, because like we cannot like take all of our past or like future like together. Maybe we have to leave something behind to get the best of our like version for today.
We wanted to do more of a film, and then we started discussing between us what we thought would work best in the film, like if we wanted to do it more abstract or documentary style.
Yeah. Since we stick to the concept of like emotions, so we don't want to like narrow the people mindset.
So I guess we use the old TVs because we're talking about emotions in the past. So, and we're using CRT TVs, which are analog, they're a bit blurry. When you look at them, you can see the lines coming through them. It gives a nice effect to what we're trying to say with our film. And we're using 3 TVs. So instead of it just being a straight long film, we're jumping between different TVs to show different emotions. And then we're doing some physical handouts, which Hannah has designed, and then I'm doing the post-production editing.
We started talking about it, trying to figure out a way how we find a definition for the both of us, and then it was pretty quick coming up with an idea.
For me, my first thought for the exchange rate, I portray like the values of people in different beliefs, culture, and just status value. And then Annie brought the concept of the city, the buildings, and I just, this is interesting. There's a link between people and the surroundings, the city.
That's actually the main point what we were going for, that his way he sees the life over here is totally different compared to mine, and this is our exchange rate, that we were trying to express that and link this kind of point of views to emphasize that in the exhibition. Since my major is architecture, it was pretty obvious and clear that I'm gonna do a sculpture, and since his major is photography, we were trying to think about a way how we're gonna link this.
Although I work totally different like field of work, but throughout the process, I think we can work together like quite a lot. Because for my photo shoot, she also went with me. And so I think we kind of experience the same, and we get the authentic feeling from the people we shoot. I think it's very inspiring to develop that into the concept of sculpture.
He's teaching me photography, I teach him how to do sculptures, and we were trying to link that we both take advantage out of it.
I tried to get off of the money part of the exchange, and I wanted to explore more outside of the box and what exchange rate can mean in multiple areas. And so I found that it would really be an important work to just work about the exchange rate in between classes. upper class, lower class, and how does that work, and what's the connection in between both of classes? What does one give to the other? How does it work in society?
When Rita proposed me that, and I was a bit scared and confused. What are we going to do with the project? So I just took like one night to figure it out. What are we gonna do?
And then we ended up with the concept.
The concept of exchange rate. We're talking about hierarchy in the classes, classism or privilege. So we bought the mannequin to represent different classes. So we do the collage of people, middle class, lower class. We took a photo of people around here and then we stuck it on the mannequin, representing the people.
On the bottom part of the mannequin feet, we are painting it black, but not 100% opaque, so it's a little translucid, which represents the fact that are the unseen people, usually the farmers, the lower classes, the actual workers that provide for this country. And they're still there, but you don't tend to see them. You only tend to see the people in the middle and upper classes. And well, on the top, we put a gold leaf, which represents the privilege, the hierarchy, the most privileged people. And it's just a tiny bit because there's not a lot of privileged people, but the ones that exist are really, really privileged.
So when we partner up, exchange rate kind of became like languages for us and immersion in exchanging of something. So we wanted to exchange our mediums, right? Like we wanted to have a piece of the both of us in the piece we're creating. Both of us wanting to do a sculpture, we went with fabric. But to be able to project something on it, we wanted to mean something. So you showed me your reading, right?
Like I showed an old poem of mine, yeah. Or I make some writing and you interpret it in the video constellation.
Yeah.
But then we more and more came to work together, I would say. So then it was this writing and writing and writing and writing.
And then we're like, this is what the sculpture is gonna look like.
So we have like the poem that we've been working on both, and then we have embroidering that into the fabric in different languages. So because like my mother tongue is Swedish from the beginning.
And mine is Tagalog.
So it's in Tagalog, Swedish and English. But it's not important for us that you understand the text itself. It's more about to look at it.
And then for the video projection, I just interpreted our poems, and we were just walking around Bangkok and we were taking videos of things that we saw, and then I just incorporated that in the projection.
And it's also in the poem.
The meaning of exchange rate for me kind of becomes clearer as we going to the places together, because it's about going to a different place, both for me and for her, and we kind of exchange idea as me as a person who live in Bangkok as a hometown, and for her as coming to Bangkok for the first time.
So for us, the exchange rate is not just the outcome of the project, but it's the process to go around with each other, talk to each other.
So it's about exchanging cultural exchange or exchange experience that we have like a different thought and things like that. So the way we kind of execute our work is we kind of exploring Bangkok together, and I'm doing in terms of the visual representation while she recording the sounds, and we kind of share our result in both pictures and sounds to kind of see how our thoughts and our ideas of Bangkok collide together.
I play bassoon. This is like the weirdest instrument you can see around. So it's a wooden instrument that has a really like low sound, like a grandpa sound. And if I'm thinking about this like an elephant, a clumsy elephant walking in the street, because the sound is really kind of comic one. Yeah, so she was taking picture and I recorded the sounds of the city. The eyes is an overwhelming sense. Bangkok is really about seeing like a lot of layers and people and cars, but it's a lot about hearing the sounds of the city. So it happened to me to just go around and close my eyes and catch the different ways of people living here. So it was a really exploration for me of other senses as well.
You can talk first. I think you know more.
No, I think that we decided explore this topic about the two different views between the same place that it's Bangkok. So we decided take pictures about Bangkok and explore the different views between the city. One of that is the city one, that it's more crowded with the tourists, with all the people lights, you know. And the other one that it's more nature, about the people who live on the nature places.
We separate the work by giving ourselves to explore on each other part. I'm gonna be the one who's gonna take the part of shooting photos around Bangkok, since she's gonna be the part to like support me with the graphic designs, the tech that shall be used in our final works. So we kind of blend in our thinking process together.
And then I was preparing the composition about these posters and telling what is the best way to project our exposition with his photos and doing some compositions together. And I think that the timeline we made, it's really, really good. Yeah, and I made the timeline of we need to do that, and 10 was organized all this stuff.
I quite see it like literally, like an economic term, but I feel that you can understand it in many ways.
Yeah, I think like exchange rate is not only about like exchanging culture and anything, but it's also about the economic system and how the society and the country is run.
So basically we were trying to find a space that we can understand and discover and research on. I came with the idea of the mall center as a place that we could explore. And
yeah, as a person who has been like live here forever, and when Valentine brought it up, the mall idea, I'm kind of surprised, because like usually if like people come, they would go to like local market, but like he saw something in the mall, which me personally, I've seen that like these malls actually like very, very strange and weird, but I've never really come up with the idea to do something with it in photographic way. We do the shoot like in the same place but separately, because like we have kind of different styles of photography, so we decide to do that and then find a way to connect and exchange our vision during the editing process.
yeah, I think it's quite important that each of us has his place, like his space.
I don't think exchange means mixing, but more like each one of us have our own space and we find the exchange point to meet.